Welcome to Big League Dreaming, the podcast, the show about fulfilling your dreams and taking it to the next level. Good morning, everyone. First day of the MLB season was yesterday. Let's recap it a little bit. I'm going to start the show off. I didn't get to watch much baseball yesterday, but I did get to catch the end of my Mets there. They had a big end. It was tied when I turned the game on, 3-3. They had a big seventh inning. Nimmo had a huge hit, 2 RBIs, which was good to see. Nimmo had a monster game, 3 RBIs total. When I pulled up the box score, it looks like Scherzer had a decent outing, 6 strikeouts. So I watched the last few innings. Excited that baseball's back. Robertson taking over the Diaz role looked amazing. He had 2 big strikeouts. He's kind of a veteran at this point. He's played for the Yankees and some other teams, so he's got some big shoes to fill this year, but his first outing, he looked great. After the Mets game, I turned on those Blue Jays I was talking about the other day, and wow, they were losing in the 9th, and what a wild game. They came back and ended up winning that game. Their closer looked really well, too, but that was fun to watch. A little exciting last inning baseball yesterday. So that's kind of my opening day. I had a few games towards the tail ends of them that I got to watch. I'm going to pass it along to Zach. What did you see in opening day, and how excited are you for this season?
All right. Thank you, Ty. Yes, I'm very excited that baseball is back. I was just ecstatic all day yesterday, seeing all the games, following them. It was a lot of fun. The first game, I didn't get to watch the Braves game. They're obviously blacked out here in Charlotte. So I wasn't able to watch the game, but I saw that Acuna had the first hit of 2023 and the first stolen base. He stole. Patrick Corbin picked off twice, and then he just stole second easily with the new rules. I think it's a culmination of the pickoff rule, the larger bases, and the pitch clock. We're going to see a lot of stolen bases this year in Major League Baseball. And then, unfortunately, Max Fried left the game in the 4th inning, trying to cover first base. Their ace pitcher for the Braves with a left hamstring strain, so hopefully he won't be out too long for Atlanta. I did watch the Yankee game, and of course Aaron Judge hits a home run in the bottom of the first on his first swing of the year. Place was going crazy. Yankee Stadium, they really welcomed Anthony Volpe, their rookie phenom shortstop. His first game, saw that he got a walk in his first at bat, and then he stole second base. And then after that, I watched the Cubs game. I saw Marcus Stroman had a really strong start for the Cubs. I think he went like six innings. Really good outing for him. Good to see. But Stroman made history though. He had the first pitch clock violation in the history of Major League Baseball, taking a little bit too long. Ball was awarded to the batter. And Dansby Swanson had a big day, 3 hits, and Cubs win. Ty, I didn't get to see your Mets game at all, but I did see that pitch clock violation for the Mets. Alonso taking a little bit too long, getting down to first base on the walk, and they gave who's coming up to bat? I think McNeil was coming up to bat, and they gave him an automatic strike because Alonso took too long getting to first base on the walk. I really think that that's just a clock operator error. We're supposed to wait until the batter gets to about halfway up the first base line to start that 30-second clock between batters. I'm sure the clock operator started it a little bit too early. Those things are going to happen this first kind of week. It took me about 2 games of pitch clock to really get comfortable with all the little tiny rules like that. So it was the first day. It's going to be okay. I did watch the ending of the White Sox-Astros game. It was 1-1, and then bottom of the 8th, I believe. I'm sorry. It could have been top of the 9th. The White Sox got 2 guys on early, and then with 1 out, Andrew Vaughn hit a line shot over Jeremy Pena's head into the left center gap that scored 2 runs, and the White Sox ended up winning that game 3-2 over the Astros. So good to see the defending champs lose their first game of the season. And a lot of Charlotte Knights players on that White Sox team, so I was watching that a little bit. Dylan Cease had just a crazy good outing. He had that curveball working, fastball up in the zone. He could win Cy Young. He's going to have a great year, Dylan Cease. And then, of course, I watched my Mariners. So I watched just about all of the pregame show. So it was like 30 minutes before the game started. They started playing the pregame show where the players run out on the field on the carpet from right field all the way into the infield dirt. It used to be red carpet. Now it's pink for T-Mobile. So all of the pregame ceremony stuff was really cool to see. The place was sold out, packed. Griffey threw out the first pitch along with Gary Payton and Marshawn Lynch. That was pretty cool. It was a pitcher's duel. So The Rock, Luis Castillo, the Mariners ace, he looked awesome. He had 6 shutout innings, and then they turned it over to the bullpen. Mariners are known for their bullpen, and they had Matt Brash throw the 7th inning, and he struck out Jose Ramirez on his slider that had 31 RPMs on it, and Jose Ramirez fell down when he swung and missed for strike 3 on that slider. It was crazy. You should go watch that clip if you get a chance. Paul Sewald threw the 8th, and Andres Munoz, our 102-mile-an-hour guy, threw the 9th and got the save. Mariners win 3-0 on a bottom of the 8th inning 3-run homer by Ty France. So an awesome opening day all around. I'm going to pass it over to Dad. Dad, did you happen to see what happened at the beginning of the Cardinals game? Let me know.
Hey, Zach, and everyone listening to the podcast. I did not see what happened at the beginning of the Cardinals game, so I had to go back and look to see if I missed something, or like was there a big highlight or something, or what happened. And I assume you're referring to the fact that Adam Wainwright performed the national anthem. He was going to be the scheduled opening day starter in his retirement season here, but I think he got a little injured, so he was not going to be starting the game. And they asked him to do the national anthem. I didn't realize that Adam Wainwright is an aspiring country music singer-songwriter, and so they introduced him, and the crowd went nuts. He went up to the mic, and he did the national anthem. Now, granted, you guys know this, but maybe not a lot of people listening to the podcast know this about me. I used to write about music for many, many years, right? I used to be a music critic and have interviewed so many different stars throughout my career. And a lot of these professional singers, will not do the national anthem because it is one of the toughest songs to perform live. And they just don't do it because so many things can go wrong. You'll forget the lyrics, right? It's easy to do. It's hard to hear yourself singing in a big open space with the stadium sold out. It's really one of the most nerve-wracking experience for a professional singer at any level, in any kind of genre at all. But he went up there, he looked pretty cool, calm and collected. He went a little slow. I mean, my music critic days would say he's a little pitchy, a little off, but that's to be under, that's expected, right? That's expected to be for him to do that. It's expected for him to struggle a little bit. In the post game, they did interview him about it. He's like, "Yeah, I made a rookie mistake. I started hearing myself and slowed down, and it's funny to hear him say that. I still have a lot of room to grow." But I actually went back and listened to some of his actual professional singing. I caught some YouTube videos, and he's got a good voice. And all it takes is a good song and a good voice and a little bit of following, and before you know it, you have a country music career. So congratulations to Uncle Charlie there, and the Cardinals, right? They had a lot to be excited about. I'll tell you what, that's one of my favorite stadiums to watch a baseball game ever. Busch Stadium, opening day. It's like none other there. Everyone is so excited, and I was too. Like you guys, excited for a new season. I caught the Tigers season opener yesterday. I watched it in its entirety, which was really interesting because I had to watch it out of town, and I'm up north on a work assignment, so I had to come up here. Oh, by the way, the Cardinals did lose 10-9 against a really tough Blue Jays team. I mean, that was a slugfest there. And you're right, Ty, that Blue Jays team is going to score a lot of runs this year. They're going to be right in the thick of that thing. That American League East is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Getting back to, I'm up north, and I had to find a bar that had the game. So I went to this little bar in this little tiny town up north of Michigan, northern Michigan, and found the game on multiple screens. Not huge Tiger fans, but a few. And, it was the same old Tigers. But we spent a lot of time talking about how the game and the rule changes are going to make an impact on the season. I mean, this game was a pretty quick game. It just flew by, right? Tigers lost 4-0 against the Rays. Rays look good. Shane McClanahan for the Rays looked good, but the Tigers are going to have a tough time scoring runs. I don't think anyone is going to be surprised by that. This lineup, by the way, Miguel Cabrera batted 7th in his final season for the Tigers, and was 1 for 4 with a double. No strikeouts, which was good to see. Overall, the team didn't strike out that much. They had only 6 strikeouts. But here's the thing. They're going to struggle scoring runs. Matt Vierling is leadoff batter. Javi Baez batted second. Riley Green, who everyone's excited about him with another year as a Tiger center fielder, young prospect talent that just got so much potential. Eric Haas is getting a chance to catch full time for the Tigers. He batted 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Torkelson batted 5th. And he's still struggled. He went 0 for 4. Haas went 0 for 4. Green was 1 for 3. Baez was 1 for 3. And Vierling, the right fielder from Pittsburgh, getting his first year with the Tigers, he was 0 for 3. But combined, this top 5 in the order went 2 for 18 with 2 strikeouts. So strikeouts not bad. They put the ball in play, but they just didn't put the ball in play. I mean, I guess it was a George Springer day, right? 5 hits, but those were just like some bloop hits for the Blue Jays. We'll take those. By the way, George Springer, you're going to have those games where those aren't going to fall for you. You know how baseball gods are. But the Tigers lineup, they're going to struggle scoring runs. Simple as that. I don't see this really happening. Austin Meadows, by the way, was 3 for 4. And put the bat on the ball and had something to show for it. But Scope struggled. He's at toward the bottom of the lineup. He struggled during the World Baseball Classic, and he had 2 strikeouts. He was 0 for 2. I hope he rebounds. I want to see him do well. And then Ryan Kreidler getting a chance to start at third base for the Tigers was 0 for 3. Young kid. Not sure where it's going to go with him either. He'll learn quickly or fail quickly, and it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle for any Tigers fan to watch this team in action this year. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Zach. Zach already went. I'm going to turn this over to Zane, and because I want to know what's up with the Red Sox. I wasn't expecting much from them this year. I'll be honest with you, but they scored some runs yesterday. Zane, I think this team's going to score some runs. This Red Sox team is going to score some runs. So, give us a little recap, would you?
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, where do I start with these Red Sox? My Lord. It's just going to be a weird year, I think, for the Red Sox. I think they're going to be really, really streaky. I think they're going to have, their days where they do put up 9 runs like they did on opening day against the Orioles, but I think the biggest downfall and the biggest question mark for the Red Sox is going to be their pitching. You had Kluber start opening day, which a lot of people were thrown off of, but I think it's just the way it landed and how Chris Sale progressed, and giving him a couple extra days to get ready and get geared up for that first start. And then they got Brian Bayo, who's battling through some injuries right now. They're just going to ease him along. But, just like last year, the question mark for the Red Sox is going to be their bullpen.
their bullpen after Kluber, they kind of struggled. You know, they brought Kelly in. He got out of a little bit of a jam, and then Brazier struggled. Caleb Orr, which I know a lot of people in the Red Sox community was a little upset when they found out that Caleb Orr made the opening day roster, and you know, because he struggled all spring training, and I really want to pull for the guy. He went to Aquinas, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's an NAI guy. I really want to pull for him, but man, like 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Didn't look that great. Kind of whatever he was doing in spring training, he just carried on. But you know, the Red Sox being able to put up some runs, I think they're gonna have a decent offense. You know, they got Verdugo, Devers, you know, Turner from the Dodgers. He came over. Yoshida was a big signing, you know, from Japan, and you know, he went 2 for 4 in his debut. He played a decent left field from what I saw. You know, they got Cassis or Cassis, however you want to say it, over at first base, the big prospect. So, you know, they're down Trevor Story right now too, and like, so this offense can put up runs, and it's going to be interesting how the season progresses, and you know, what kind of moves do the front office make for the Red Sox. But unfortunately, I didn't even get to watch the game. I kind of just watched the highlights. They were playing when we were at practice, so you know, that's kind of typical for opening day for me. But I did catch the end of that Cardinals Blue Jays game that you were talking about, Dad. And you know, one thing that I noticed at the end of that game was, like, pitchers are kind of struggling right now. Like, and it's more relievers, and I don't know if it's the pitch clock. And I was talking about this with someone yesterday, and I said, you know, I could see a lot of relievers struggling early on in the year with the pitch clock, because like, as baseball has gone on these last few years, every reliever throws 100 miles an hour. Every single one, it seems like. But a lot of them are max effort 1-inning guys. And those max effort 1-inning guys, they need a little bit of extra time between pitches, you know, to get themselves back to where they need to be to throw 100 again, to be max effort on that next pitch. Like, across the league, there were a lot of walks. And that's kind of rare for the beginning of the year. Usually pitchers are way ahead of hitters at this point. You know, usually pitchers are coming in, dominating the strike zone, going right after hitters, and hitters' timings are a little bit off. But right now it looks pretty even. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. You know, I'm interested to see how the Red Sox play out. I think it's going to be a long year for them. I think they're going to have a lot of these games where, you know, it's up and down. It comes down to the last inning, and they lose by 1-2 runs because, I mean, shoot, that bullpen scares me. But, you know, it's a long season, 162 games. Who knows? They could get hot. They could, you know, find something that works and clicks and ride it out, and they could make some moves mid-season. But we'll see. But I'm going to hand it over to Ty. You know, Ty, what do you got for us?
Hey, it's Ty from Big League Dreaming Podcast. Be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at BLDpod. That is at BLDPOD. And we're also on TikTok now as well, so give us a follow at Big League Dreaming. We'd love to connect with you.